This is the OTB Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We've got a busy weekend just finished and a really busy weekend for the 4th of July upcoming. We're going to start the program now down in South Florida, unfortunately, with a pair of off-the-turf stakes races from the weekend. We're going to go back to Saturday. The Calder Stakes feature the Lord Juban, $40,000, originally carded for 3-year-olds on the turf, now on the main track. Let's head down to Calder in the running of the Lord Juban.
And they're off in the Lord Juban Overnight Stakes. Dream On is flashing his normal speed and goes right out to the front. Richie the Kid came out in good order. Talented Prince is just behind him. Then Captain Lindsay along the rail, followed by Man Made. Sir Jackie a long way back already as they make their way into the clubhouse turn. He must be 10 lengths behind Dream On as they wheel for the backstretch. Dream On, and Manny Aguilar show the way. It's Dream On. He's over to the rail and leads it about a length and a half from Richie the Kid. Captain Lindsay is a joint third to the inside of Talented Prince. Man Made between horses, only about 3 lengths off the lead. It's another 4.5 back to Sir Jackie, starting to close in on the pack as they make their way up the back stretch. Just a modest opening quarter there of 24 seconds flat for these stakes runners. Dream On still leads it over a length from Richie the Kid. Talented Prince, Captain Lindsay still a joint third and only 2 lengths off the pace. Man Made is not doing well enough at this point. He is being pushed on hard. He's about to be passed by Sir Jackie at the back of the pack. Half mile went in 48-2, and they still haven't gotten to Dream On. He's opened up now to lead it by 2 into the far turn. Whip is out on Talented Prince to come after him. Captain Lindsay is along on the rail in third. Richie the Kid isn't doing enough. Sir Jackie is trying to get into it from the back of the pack, but he is 6 lengths behind Dream On as they come to the head of the stretch. Dream On. We'll see if he has anything left for the drive. Talented Prince still there in second. Sir Jackie is now getting into it, and here comes Sir Jackie, and he means business on the grandstand side. Sir Jackie going 2 to the 1 of Dream On. He's on to the front with a 16th to go. Sir Jackie, Talented Prince going with him. Sir Jackie wins the Lord Juban. Talented Prince second, then Dream On, and Captain Lindsay.
Sir Jackie and Eduardo Nunez getting the 7-1 victory by 3/4 of a length, managing to rally despite a relatively slow early pace, getting the win by 3/4 over Talented Prince. Dream On, who had certainly come to hand very nicely on the turf earlier this season, left in on this on the main track and ran well from the early position. He was right out there from the get-go and held on as the favorite to third. The winner, Sir Jackie, is a chestnut-gelded son of Sweet Southern Saint from Reen's Racer by Compliance, bred in Florida by Harlan Balk, owned by John Preet and trained by David Vivian. Ridden to victory by Eduardo Nunez. Sir Jackie covers the mile in the 16th at Calder in 1:46.2. Unfortunately, we were also off the turf for the Sunday Stakes feature, the Lulu's Ransom. This time it was 3-year-old fillies, originally carded at a mile on the turf. It's to go a mile on the main track. Let's head back to Calder and the Lulu's Ransom.
And they're off. Darluna from the inside gate heads right out for the lead. Wise Brianna came out well. Leona's Night is showing speed as well. Pitanga's fourth as they go into the turn, followed by Ragtime Hope. Early trailers are Tiger Bell and Don't Say No Sierra. Field covered by 7 as they make their way around the clubhouse turn. Darluna and Eddie Nunez show the way in the Lulu's Ransom. Darluna toward the backstretch opens up now to lead it by a length and a half. Leona's Night is second to the outside of Wise Brianna. Pitanga's in a clear-cut 4th position. She's only 3 lengths off the lead. She's covering up Ragtime Hope, who's a little bit rank out there, and in behind fillies going down the back stretch. Tiger Bell moves up on her outside. Don't Say No Sierra still is the trailer. She's got 6.5 to make up as they head for the half-mile marker. Opening quarter was solid, 23-4 for Darluna. Darluna leads them with a half-mile to go, still over a length. Leona's Night is there on her outside. Wise Brianna covered up, but looks like she's in good position. Wise Brianna can get somewhere to go. She may have a shot out there. Pitanga Chattanooga is hard-ridden in fourth. She's not making up ground right now. Ragtime Hope is going better than her from the inside. Then Tiger Bell. Don't Say No Sierra continues to trail as they string out around the far turn. And Darluna opens up now to lead it by 2.5. Darluna is going to take some catching today. She comes to the head of the stretch to open up a 3-length lead. Whip is out on Wise Brianna. She's got room at the rail. Ragtime Hope is moving well on the grandstand side, but they've got to pick up their feet to get to Darluna. Darluna comes down to the furlong pole, and she is in command. With a 16th to go, she leads by 3.5, and the race is for place between Ragtime Hope and Wise Brianna. Darluna takes the Lulu's Ransom overnight stake. Tight for place, either Ragtime Hope or Wise Brianna.
Darluna and Eddie Nunez, a profitable weekend for Eddie, 5-1 on this one as well. 3 1/4 length victory, this time the exact opposite style. Yesterday, previous day, it was off the pace. Here on the front end from the inside post position to pick up the victory over Ragtime Hope. Wise Brianna, stalking trip early, but didn't have quite enough late through the stretch and had to settle for third. The winner, Darluna, is a 3-year-old bay daughter of Premiership from Partridge Flight by Siberian Express. She was bred in Florida by Stanley Moles, owned by Irv Troish and Est Fendi. Trained by Steve DeMauro, ridden to victory by Eddie Nunez. Darluna completes the mile at Calder in 1:39.3. Going to head next to Delaware Park for one of the big stakes races of the weekend, the $500,000 Kent Breeders' Cup for 3-year-olds on the turf. A wild running through the stretch. Let's head down to Delaware in the running of the Kent.
And they're off in the $500,000 Kent Breeders' Cup. Holy Ground from the inside away well. Up on the outside, that's Mighty Mecky. And Touched by Madness will go to the front as expected as they come down that chute. Touched by Madness on the inside, up on the outside. That's Seeking Slew moving up there. And down on the inside, Holy Ground racing third. Learning a bit ranked there in the early going, trying to settle in that 4th spot. Followed by Chattahoochee War taken to the rail nicely in 5th. Followed by Mighty Mecky up on the outside. Then comes Great Suitor, Springhouse with the rail. LVI is 3 wide. Down on the inside, looking to move up in between horses. That's Crown Point as they make their way around the first turn. 1/4 and 24 seconds flat. They've got 6 furlongs to go. Touched by Madness leads it by about 1.5 lengths. Seeking Slew toward the outside second. Holy Ground with the rail in third. Chattahoochee War in a good spot toward the inside of Learning. Racing in 4th. Learning alongside in 5th. Then comes Springhouse riding the rail racing in 6th. Up there 3 wide, that's Gray Suitor in 7th trying to move up. Mighty Mecky between horses. Then comes Crown Point, followed by Wall Street Scandal and LVI, now the trailer. Half goes in, 48 seconds flat, a half mile to go. Touched by Madness still on the front end. Holy Ground toward the inside of Seeking Slew. Chattahoochee War is in a good spot, still up on the outside in 4th. Springhouse has the rail in 5th, Learning alongside 6th. Then comes Gray Suitor racing in 7th as they make their way around the bend. 3/8 to go. Touched by Madness still clings onto a narrow advantage. Holy Ground had a good trip on the inside and now trying to shoot through. Here comes Holy Ground to take on Touched by Madness. Seeking Slew is right there racing 3rd, followed by Chattahoochee War is trying to kick in but flattens out a bit. On the inside, looking to rally comes Wall Street Scandal. They've got a furlong to go. It's still Touched by Madness. Gamely hanging on. Here comes Springhouse in between horses up on the outside. Seeking Slew. Touched by Madness hanging on despite drifting out down the lane. Looks like Springhouse also right there with Seeking Slew as they cross the line.
Seeking Slew getting the victory on a double disqualification. The steward spent a lot of time looking at this one. Touched by Madness crossing the finish line in front. Springhouse appearing on the pan shot to split horses. Seeking Slew sitting a stalking trip and getting the 3rd spot, but it was not to stay that way. As the head-on will show, you're going to have Touched by Madness bearing out repeatedly, Springhouse bearing out repeatedly. In fact, Springhouse bore out and interfered with a couple of horses. Then Touched by Madness seemed to follow them all towards the outside. It was a very rough and confusing stretch run, and the stewards eventually decided to take Touched by Madness down from 1st to 4th, Springhouse down from 2nd to 3rd. As a result, the official results stand. Seeking Slew on top, Chattahoochee War getting the 2nd spot, and Springhouse retaining the on-the-board finish by finishing 3rd. The winner, Seeking Slew, a dark bay or brown 3-year-old son of Seeking the Gold from Baroda Slew by Seattle Slew, was bred in Kentucky by Live Oak Stud. owned by the Live Oak Plantation, trained by Bill Mott, who had a terrific weekend, and ridden to victory by Ramon Dominguez. Seeking Slew officially getting the credit for the victory here in 147-1. We're going to continue now with stakes racing action from the Mid-Atlantic. This time we're going to head to Monmouth Park for the West Long Branch for 3-year-olds and up filly and mare sprinters. Let's head to Monmouth and the West Long Branch.
Racing in the West Long Branch. Fortress Hill is going to the front, and there goes Spring Rush quickly right by, and Spring Rush takes the lead and speeds along to a 2-length advantage. Fortress Hill second, Greenberg third by a length and a half, then Travelator, a reek to the inside, 3 to the gray filly Excess, who's got 4.5 on Format, the trailer. Heading up the backstretch, Spring Rush in front. The first quarter, very, very fast, 21 1/5 seconds. Fortress Hill is running in second by a head. Then on the outside is Greenberg third by another 2. Followed by Travelator, a close-up fourth. 3.5 farther back to Arik and Excess right together, and Format has been outrun so far. Spring Rush coming to the quarter pole. In front after a half mile in 44 seconds flat. Travelator's moving wide. Then it's Fortress Hill in between horses, and they're into the stretch. On the inside, Spring Rush. On the outside, Fortress Hill. Travelator farther out into the track. Then comes Arik and Excess on the inside. It is Fortress Hill and Travelator to the wire. Arik third. Travelator on the outside. Fortress Hill digs in. Fortress Hill and Travelator hit the wire. Maybe Travelator in a very close long branch over Fortress Hill, and then came Arik.
Very competitive field, not a real big field, 7 horses going postward, but some good older sprinting fillies, and it was the New York bred Travelator. Another very nice New York bred mare sprinting here, getting yet another victory here by a nose in a game effort over Fortress Hill. Those two ding-donging it away through the stretch, a length and a quarter back to the third place finisher, Arik, who made up some ground late but was no match for the top 2. The winner, Travelator, is a bay 5-year-old mare, a daughter of AP Jet from Raja Diddle by Raja's Revenge. Bred in New York by Michael and Raylene Anshell, owned by our Sugar Bear stable, trained by Stanley Huff, and ridden to victory by Joe Bravo. Travelator completes the 6 furlongs at Monmouth in 109-3. We're going to head back to the turf now. We're going to go to Colonial Downs in the inaugural running of the Colonial Turf Cup. $500,000 once again for 3-year-olds going on the grass. Let's head to Colonial and the Colonial Turf Cup.
All in line. And they're off in the Colonial Turf Cup. Perfect start with Matt Adam out to the front and Interpretation. English Channel, a big favorite, is right there and close to the pace. It's going to be very slow here. Classic Campaign racing up at the far outside. Now Criminal Mind drops to second to last. And back there as well as Exceptional Ride. So working to the front is Mad Adam to the first turn. Classic Campaign racing a close second. English Channel's taken to rate just off the leaders. Down at the fence there, getting through is Interpretation. 3 wide around the turn, Criminal Mind, an Exceptional Ride trailing the field. 5 lengths covers the 6 runners as they move midway around the first turn. Ryan Fogelsonger at a deliberate pace out there with Mad Adam by a half length. Classic Campaign and Jose Santos in second. English Channel and the big favorite with Johnny Velasquez racing 3 deep right there with the pace, just a length from the front. Interpretation is down to the fence, followed by Criminal Mind and Exceptional Ride. Well bunched, only 4 lengths will cover the field. Midway up the backstretch, Mad Adam trying to take them all the way here. Classic Campaign second. In the meantime, the big favorite English Channel is racing in the clear on the outside. Interpretation is fourth. And Criminal Mind, an Exceptional Ride, now tipped off the inside. In between horses, Exceptional Ride just 3.5 off the lead. So they're going to turn it into an all-out sprint to the Colonial finish. On the outside, Classic Campaign quickens on first. Mad Adam goes with him. English Channel 3 deep, and Criminal Mind running a big one on the far outside. Top of the stretch, and the favorite English Channel works to a narrow lead. Classic Campaign is right there. Mad Adam gives way. Criminal Mind on the far outside. Exceptional Ride is in behind horses and try to split rivals now. Exceptional Ride splitting rivals and diving to the inside. Final furlong, and English Channel has the kick. Exceptional Ride has Will on the inside, but English Channel gets away to win under John Velasquez. Full of run at the end of the Colonial Turf Cup. English Channel by 3.5. Exceptional Ride was second.
English Channel, now there was a lot of cross entering obviously between the Kent Breeders' Cup. This one came up a shorter field, but English Channel really looked like a monster through the stretch here, kicking clear easily under John Velasquez. Exceptional ride, rallied well from off the pace to finish second. Interpretation, who I thought had a little bit of a difficult trip. He did, in fact, the rider did, in fact, lodge an objection against Exceptional Ride for interference that was not allowed, but I do think that Interpretation could have gotten a little bit smoother trip. Nonetheless, he was no match for the winner, English Channel, who really looks like he's developing into a very nice turf horse as well. English Channel is a 3-year-old chestnut son of Smart Strike from Belva by Theatrical. Bred in Kentucky by Keen Ridge Farm and owned by James Catorcio. Trained by Todd Pletcher and ridden to victory by John Velasquez, English Channel completes the mile in 3/16 on the Colonial Downs turf in 1:56.1. We're going to pause now for a brief message, and when we return, we'll be heading to Philadelphia, Churchill, Arlington, and more. Please stay with us.
This year, many thoroughbreds, no longer able to compete, will join the ranks of racing's homeless. Since 1982, the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation and its supporters have been providing help and hope for those in need. Creating opportunities where once there were none, the TRF, together with the racing industry, is meeting the challenge, taking care of their own. Yesterday's innovative concepts, combining the TRF's rescue mission with educational and rehabilitation goals, have become today's life-saving success stories and a track record of unsurpassed growth. Safely retired thoroughbreds are now enjoying second careers, bringing responsibility, healing, and purpose to the lives of those who need it most. With your help, we can continue our saving mission, ensuring many more horses the welcome home they so richly deserve.
Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We're going to continue now at Philadelphia Park, where on Saturday the stakes feature was the $100,000 My Juliet for filly and mare sprinters. Let's head down to Philadelphia and the running of the My Juliet.
And they're off in the My Juliet Stakes. Hostility bounces right out for the lead. Hostility quickly sprints clear by 2. Storm Minstrel has come out running second. Just to her outside sits Umpatito. But 2 lengths back to She Is Raging, who advances outside to be 4th. And Ebony Breeze is biding her time down inside. She's 5th and last, running just about 3.5 back with a half mile to go. Opening quarter was 22 flat. Hostility, 3.5 furlongs to go, now getting some outside pressure from Umpatito. Umpatito and Hostility, those two are headed in for the lead with 3 gates to go. It's about 2 lengths to Storm Minstrel, who's just to the inside of She Is Raging, and Ebony Breeze beginning to lengthen her stride at the back of the pack. They come to the quarter pole. Hostility doing battle with Umpatito. Storm Minstrel waiting in behind those two for running room. Ebony Breeze swings to the outside for the final 3/16. She Is Raging, the only one that's dropped out of it. 1 furlong to go. Umpatito has taken the lead. Storm Minstrel between horses. Ebony Breeze is in full stride in the middle of the racetrack. Ebony Breeze full of run to take the lead. Storm Minstrel goes right with her. 50 yards to go. Ebony Breeze, Storm Minstrel, Ebony Breeze, yes sir. Ebony Breeze wins it by a neck. Storm Minstrel second. Umpatito was third.
Ebony Breeze getting the victory here by a neck in her usual off-the-pace running style from Storm Minstrel, who was in from New York for Mark Hennig and Edward P. Evans. Umpatito, another horse that we have seen in New York, who was based primarily in the Mid-Atlantic, picking up the 3rd spot. Even money choice Ebony Breeze is a 5-year-old bay mare, a daughter of Belong to Me from Valid Carnauba by Valid Appeal. Bred in Kentucky by the Kinsman Farm and owned by Kinsman's Stable, trained by Bill Mott and ridden to victory by Herb Castillo Jr., Ebony Breeze completes the 6 furlongs at Philadelphia in 1:10.2. We're going to head now to Kentucky in the running on Saturday of the Aristides Breeders' Cup. A long sprint for older horses. Let's head down to Kentucky, the running of the Aristides.
The gate. Off and running in the Aristides. Gators and Bears broke like a shot to take the lead from Buana Charlie. Jet Prospector Battle One right there to join the fray early. Couple farther back to Kelly's Landing at the rail, and level playing field at the back is 7 off the pace up the backside. Jet Prospector and Robbie Alvarado opening up a length to Battle One, who's on the muscle today, second. 3 back to Gators and Bears, third. Buana Charlie, then Kelly's Landing, and level playing field at the back, 7 lengths off the pace through the opening quarter mile in 21 seconds flat. wide. Around the far turn, they're blazing. Jet Prospector by 2. Battle 1, second by a length and a half. Gators and Bears revving up third. Kelly's Landing fourth. Bawana Charlie 6 lengths off the pace now in level playing field. At the back of the pack around the turn to the quarter pole they come. Jet Prospector 3 parts of a length in front. Rails opened up for Kelly's Landing. Here comes Battle 1 kicking it in. Gators and Bears on the far outside and Bawana Charlie. Kelly's Landing and Gary Stevens getting through to take the lead, and they're opening up. Kelly's Landing opening up now by 2. Battle 1 trying to close the gap. The final 16th. Kelly's Landing. Battle 1 second. Kelly's Landing winning the Aristides under Gary Stevens a length and a half. Battle 1 was second, and Jet Prospector third in 107 and 2. 107.59, a new track record.
Kelly's Landing, the longest shot on the board at almost 12 to 1, getting a length and 3/4 victory in new track record time under Gary Stevens, taking advantage of a very, very sharp pace up front. 21.01, 43.83. The early fractions, they went the 5 furlongs in 55 and 0.22, setting it up beautifully for the off-the-pace rallying move with a nice bid under Gary Stevens to get the victory off of an optional claiming victory right here at Churchill Downs last time. Battle 1 is going to end up settling for second after stalking the pace early. Jet Prospector, that early pace setter who set those fractions right out there from the gate under Robbie Alvarado, did end up holding on well to finish third. The winner, Kelly's Landing, a dark bay or brown 4-year-old gelded son of Patton from Best Game by Great Above, was bred in Kentucky by Summer Place Farm. Owned by the breeder, trained by Eddie Keneally, and ridden to victory by Gary Stevens, Kelly's Landing establishes a new track record for 6 furlongs at Churchill Downs, 107 and 2. We're going to continue in the Midwest with stakes racing action on Sunday from Arlington Park in Chicago. The Native Dancer for 3-year-olds going 1 1/8 miles. Let's head to Chicago and the running of the Native Dancer.
They're off, racing in the Native Dancer Stakes. Step right in, stepping out toward the front. 3-hour nap, showing plenty of pace. Favored Devilment is up and on this gallop, running in third. From Big Slew, then Jazzy Gallop. Summer Legacy down inside, right at Big Slew's heels. Summer Legacy muscling through, and Prest is close up. 5 lengths from tip to tail as they move through this first turn. Step right in, and Shane Laviolette in front of 3-hour nap by a length. Devilment now running in third. From Big Slew, fourth between horses. Summer Legacy, fifth at the rail. A length and a half back then to both Prest, and outside that, Jazzy Gallop a joint last. The opening quarter, 24 and 2. Not much pace pressure for Step Right In. Step Right In by a half length to 3-hour nap, and Sean Bridgman has a firm grasp of that one. And Devilment tracking well beneath Eddie Razzo Jr. Big Slew, Summer Legacy, Prest only 3 from that leader, and Jazzy Gallop has 5 lengths to find. 4.5 furlongs to go on the Native Dancer. Half mile clocked in 48 and 3. 3-hour nap having a go at Step Right In. Half mile to go. Devilment within a length. Summer Legacy right at the heels of the speed. Prest in the pink cap, now launching a bit on the far outside. Then Big Slew and Jazzy Gallop being driven to catch 3-hour nap, who strikes the front halfway through the turn. 3-hour nap, Step Right In, fights on at the rail. Devilment pressed 4 wide. Summer Legacy ridden with the whip. Jazzy Gallop, Big Slew last to make the top of the Arlington stretch. They come for home. 3/4, 113 and 2. Here's Devilment. Devilment now coming away in front. 3-hour nap deep in the final furlong and a half. Prest is third. Step Right In fourth. Into the final furlong. Devilment and 3-hour nap. Razzo and Bridgman in a mouth-watering clash. Prest is third. 3-hour nap comes back. 3-hour nap took it away from Devilment inside the final half furlong with a lot of guts. Prest was third.
3-hour nap, and Sean Bridgman, who has just dominated the jockey colony out at Arlington Park since shifting his tack from New York, showing good early speed, pressing the pace and getting the neck victory over the favored Devilment. Prest rallying from well back off the pace after showing no speed to finish in the third spot. The winner, 3-hour nap, is a 3-year-old bay son of Afternoon Delights from Pilgrim's Treasure by Pilgrim. Bred in Kentucky by Frank Penn and Dee Flannington, owned by Homewrecker Racing, trained by Hugh Robertson, and ridden to victory by Sean Bridgman. 3-hour nap completes the 9 furlongs at Arlington in 149 and 4. We're going to head north of the border now for a pair of stakes races from Sunday, beginning with the Scots Highlander at Woodbine. This is a terrific race, a 6-furlong sprint on the turf, always draws a terrific field. Let's head to Woodbine and the Scots Highlander.
They're off in the Scots Highlander Stakes, and Soaring Free broke like a bullet, but Worldwide Romance is showing early speed as well. Draw Fire is right there in between horses. Storm Sizzle came away running in the 4th position. Then we have I the Wed in 5th, All-Star Lover 6th. Then Judas Wild Rush back to Royal Place. And the Traveler's My Lucky Strike. Loose on the lead is Long Shot Draw Fire. It is Draw Fire who's opened up 3 lengths. Soaring Free comes on second. It is Draw Fire as they come to the 3/8 pole. Soaring Free is second. I the Wed comes to the flank of Soaring Free. Worldwide Romances to the inside in the 4th position. Judas Wild Rush 6 lengths off the lead. Draw Fire at the quarter pole. Cable sets down Soaring Free on the outside. I the Wed is also coming on. Worldwide Romance is to the inside. Soaring Free strikes front of the 8th pole. On the outside, I the Wed. Worldwide Romance on Soaring Free's heels. Final 70 yards. Soaring Free looking like $1 million. In fact, he's looking like $2 million. He wins the Scots Highlander Stakes. Worldwide Romance second. All-Star Lover was third.
Soaring Free, one of my favorite horses in training. This guy is just a terrific old horse. He always seems to run his game. He's got good speed. He makes the running almost every single time here, showing great early speed. Kicking clear by 2 is the odds-on choice over Whirlwind Dancer. All-Star Lover, finishing in the 3rd spot after racing mid-pack. He did make a nice rally along the rail at 40-something to 1, but very impressive victory once again for Soaring Free, who just loves the Woodbine turf course. Soaring Free is a 6-year-old dark Bayer Brown gelded son of Smart Strike from Dancing with Wings by Danzig. Bred in Ontario by Samson Farm and owned by the breeder, trained by Mark Frostad, ridden to victory by Todd Cable, Soaring Free completes the 6 furlongs on the sprawling Woodbine turf course in 1:08 flat. Next up, of course, the Queen's Plate. This is a restricted event for Canadian breds. It is an historic race. It is one of the oldest races still continuously run. In fact, it is the oldest race on the North American continent that has continued to be run. And restricted to Canadian breds, $1 Canadian $1 million for 3-year-olds. Let's head back to Woodbine and the running of the Queen's Plate.
They're off in the Queen's Plate. And Gold Strike broke alertly, sharp out of the gate. Gold Strike, McElhaney's trying to get her to relax now. Granique is to the inside. Then we have Ablo, and Get Down is on the far outside as they move in front of us for the first time. And Granique comes on the inside of Gold Strike as they pass under the wire. And Granique leads through an opening quarter in 23 4/5 of a second. And the filly Gold Strike is in a tracking position in second now. Then we have Ablo, who's nestled in behind horses. Coming on to the inside is King of Jazz in that red cap. Get Down is out of trouble, 2.5 lengths off the lead. Then we have 3 in the bag. Dance with Ravens has 2 beaten, those 2 being Wild Desert and way back to the maiden Molinaro Bow. And they're into the backstretch. The opening half mile was in 48-1, and they're 5 furlongs from home. And Gold Strike continues to tug at McElhaney and now widens on Granique. It is Gold Strike by 1.5 lengths. Get Down has improved on the outside. Granique is toward the rail. Ablo is 4, 3.5 lengths off the lead. Then we have Wild Desert, who lacks some running room. King of Jazz and Bejarano are in between horses. Dance with Ravens commences a run 3 furlongs from the wire, but it is still Gold Strike. Long and easy strides. Gold Strike as they come to the quarter pole. Dance with Ravens puts the pressure out wide, but Gold Strike moves extremely well. Here comes King of Jazz. King of Jazz leapfrogs into contention as they come through the lane. Here comes King of Jazz. Also right there is Wild Desert. Down on the inside is Gold Strike. And it's down to King of Jazz and Wild Desert. A battle of wills in the final 50 yards. Wild Desert and Patrick Valenzuela win the Queen's Plate. King of Jazz second and Gold Strike was third.
Wild Desert, one of the several American-based horses, in fact, getting the victory over yet another American-based King of Jazz with Gold Strike, the very impressive filly, running in the third spot after showing good speed, in fact, striking the lead at about the three-quarter marker. The winner, Wild Desert, getting the half-a-length victory, is the 3-to-1 second choice in the wagering, is a bay 3-year-old son of Wild Rush from Desert Radiance by Desert Wine. Bred in Ontario by the Windways Farm Limited and owned by Daniel Borislow, Gessler Jones, Goldfarb, Dub, Davis, and Diamond Pride Racing. Trained by Bobby Frankel for the first time. This guy was recently transferred into the Frankel barn. Ridden to victory by Pat Valenzuela, coming back off an 8th place finish in the Arkansas Derby. Wild Desert completes the 1.25 miles at Woodbine in 2:07 and 1. We're going to pause now for a second brief message, and when we return, we'll be heading to Hollywood Park and returning home to New York. Please stay with us.
And finally, in sports tonight, billboards in Kentucky, welcoming you to the horse capital of the world, New York. How's that? Well, it's a marketing campaign to get Kentuckians to rally behind their horse industry. Folks down in the bluegrass must be getting a little worried, a little squeamish, a little verklempt over the incredible achievements of thoroughbreds bred right here in New York. Hey, don't worry, Kentucky. At least you still have a Derby.
The New York Breeding and Racing Program just keeps getting bigger and better. In 2005, registered New York breds will compete for a record $45 million in purses and incentives. And speaking of records, last year, New York breds won 40 open stakes, including Funnyside in the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup. Funnyside has won! People from all walks of life, from all sports, are getting with the program. Shouldn't you?
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. We're going to continue now with Hollywood Park stakes racing action going back to Saturday and the running of the Grade 2 Beverly Hills on the turf for fillies and mares. Always a crowd pleaser when Megahertz is in the field. Let's head out to California and the running of the Beverly Hills.
They're at the post. They're off. 5 Nickels and Wine and Dine Me break best. Urabe and Halo Ola away 3rd and 4th. Agata and Megahertz are at the back of the pack as they hook up with the main course, and it is 5 Nickels who will set the pace with 1 lap to go. 5 Nickels is narrowly in front as Halo Ola is tugging up at the rail in 2nd. Wine and Dine Me and a 4-wide Agata race together 3rd and 4th. Then it's 2 lengths to Urabe, and Megahertz is 6th and last. She is 6 lengths from 5 Nickels, who goes into the clubhouse turn in front in the 40th Beverly Hills Handicap. It is 5 Nickels from Halo Ola, who's continuing to chase in 2nd. 5 Nickels now clears off to the backstretch. She's 2 lengths in front. Halo Ola and Wine and Dine Me are now together 2nd and 3rd. It's 2 lengths to Agata. She settles in 4th now at about 4 from the front. Urabe's a length and a half behind her, and Megahertz is 6th and last. She is 6.5 lengths off the lead, and the lead is held by 5 Nickels. 5 furlongs left to run, and 5 Nickels is still fresh and fit on the front end. 5 Nickels leads by 2 lengths from Halo Ola in 2nd. Wine and Dine Me and a closer Agata. Here's the first move from the back of the pack. Agata has moved up into 3rd, and she's 2 lengths off the lead. Urabe has asked for a sprint into the far turn, 4 lengths from the front. Megahertz still at the back of the pack, but she's closer, 4.5 from first to last as they leave the back stretch. 5 Nickels continues to lead. Halo Ola, Wine and Dine Me, and a 4-wide Urabe. The 4 of them within a length and a quarter at the quarter pole. Agata has tailed off just a bit. She's 3 from the front. She's joined by Megahertz from the back of the pack, and they run to the top of the stretch, and 5 Nickels is still there. 5 Nickels is the leader by 2 lengths. Wine and Dine Me is 2nd. Megahertz is up into 3rd, and here she comes with a run, and Megahertz is on a roll. It is 5 Nickels, but Megahertz in the blink of an eye has run by and taken over the lead. Wine and Dine Me is 2nd. Halo Ola to the outside. The tiny giant Megahertz. Yes! Boy, she is something. Megahertz from last to first to win the Beverly Hills.
Megahertz getting the victory here, and she is really a terrific draw for any racetrack. She is just a wonderful little mare, a tiny little bit of a chestnut horse that comes flying late from off the pace. Here getting the 3/4 of a length odds-on victory over Wine and Dine Me. A recent acquisition by J. Paul Redham, moving up in company, but running a very creditable second. Halo Ola picking up the 3rd spot after a stalking trip, but it's always great to see Megahertz back in the winner's circle with Alex Solis aboard. Megahertz is a 6-year-old chestnut mare, a daughter of Pivotal from Heavenly Ray by Rahi. She was bred in Great Britain by the Chevley Park stud, owned by Michael Bello and trained by Bobby Frankel. Ridden to victory by Alex Solis, Megahertz completes the 1.25 miles on the Hollywood turf in 2:01 and 3. We're going to continue now with stakes racing action from Hollywood Park. Sunday's stakes feature the Cinema for 3-year-old turfers. Let's head back to Hollywood in the running of the Cinema.
They're at the post. They're off. Willow O-Wisp and Johnny Highbright break 1-2. Willow O-Wisp is the leader. Ossity away in 3rd, then Honorable Coach, and the early trailer is Legal Precedent. Willow O-Wisp hooks up with the main course, and he leads 3/4 of a length from Johnny Highbright. Ossity's tucked in at the rail, and Honorable Coach will be 4 wide at the clubhouse turn. Honorable Coach trying to make a move up into 2nd, and he does. So Willow O-Wisp and Honorable Coach are now 1-2. Johnny Highbright and Ossity are together 3rd and 4th, and Ossity saves ground at the clubhouse turn and tugs at Alex Solis. He's 2 from the front. Legal Precedence at the back of the pack, 5 lengths from first to last as they turn into the backstretch. In the 59th running of the Cinema Breeders' Cup Handicap, and here's Honorable Coach all the way up to challenge Willow O-Wisp. So Willow O-Wisp has to quicken to maintain a half length in front. Honorable Coach alongside in 2nd. No excuses for Ossity. He gets the perfect turf tracking spot. He's 3rd, tucked in at the rail, and 2 from the front. Then comes Johnny Highbright. He's 3 lengths off the lead, and Legal Precedent will have to make up 7 to win it as they leave the backstretch. Willow O-Wisp and Honorable Coach still 1-2. Willow O-Wisp rides the rail 3/4 of a length. Honorable Coach just got a tap of the whip on the right shoulder. Johnny Highbright and Ossity are still 2 from the front. Legal Precedent is moving in from the back of the pack nicely for Cora Nakatani. Here's the undefeated Legal Precedent within 3 of the lead, and Willow O-Wisp cuts the corner, and he's the one to beat. Willow O-Wisp has the lead. Honorable Coach is 2nd. Ossity's got to go. He's 3 from the front. Legal Precedent 4 from Willow O-Wisp, who has opened up. Willow O-Wisp is now 2.5 lengths in front of Ossity in 2nd. Honorable Coach and Legal Precedent, Willow O-Wisp, Ossity, Willow O-Wisp in front. Willow O-Wisp took him all the way and won the 59th Cinema Breeders' Cup Handicap, 2 lengths over Ossity. Close for 3rd between Honorable Coach and Legal Precedent.
Willow O-Wisp and Garrett Gomez getting the victory here on the front end, turning the tables on Ossity, who was able to run past him by only a scant neck last time out. As Willow O-Wisp picks up his first graded stakes victory. He's now 2 for 3 since shipping to California. Ossity, a creditable 2nd, a nice effort here. An Honorable Coach, long shot in the field at 21-1, ending up 3rd after pulling a little bit aggressively in the early going. The winner, Willow O-Wisp, is a dark Bayer Brown 3-year-old gelded son of Misnomer from Willow Woodman by Woodman. Bred in Florida by Fred W. Pace and owned by Robert Alexander, trained by Vladimir Serin and ridden to victory by Garrett Gomez. Willow O-Wisp covers the 9 furlongs on the turf at Hollywood in 1:48 and 2. We're going to head back to New York now for a pair of stakes races beginning on Saturday with the Mother Goose, a grade 1 for 3-year-old fillies going 9. Let's head to Belmont and the running of the Mother Goose.
And they're off. Summerly gets off to a perfect start from her outside post. Spun Sugar comes away forwardly and Smuggler down toward the inside. And Spun Sugar took a little awkward step there as they made the crossover onto the main track, and Smuggler had to steady in behind her. They moved down the backstretch, and Jerry Bailey has kept Summerly way out there in the middle of the track. Spun Sugar down toward the inside, winning season in between those two, and it's 3 lengths back to Smuggler 4th. And then it's Lady Pegasus, who's running 5th, and a break of 4 to Seeking the Ante. The opening quarter was a tepid 24 seconds flat. So it's Spun Sugar who is the leader.
Winning Season is second, and Summerly continues that outside journey. 2.5 lengths back to Smuggler, who's stalking the leaders nicely while fourth, and it's another 4 back to Lady Pegasus, and still treading the field is Seeking the Ante. The second quarter went in 23 2/5 seconds, so they round the far turn with Spun Sugar in front and Summerly just off her flank, and here comes Smuggler now. So as they hit the 3 furlong marker, it's Spun Sugar, Summerly, and Smuggler, and the 3 of them will arrive at the quarter pole together, with Lady Pegasus drawing into contention now fourth. Winning Season is tailed off into 5th and Seeking the Ante, and they turn for home, and it's Spun Sugar on top, Smuggler driving up to her on the outside, and Summerly is now back to 3rd into the final furlong now, and Smuggler is in front. Smuggler is the leader. Spun Sugar is a neck behind in 2nd. Summerly is battling on. It's Smuggler, Spun Sugar, and Summerly. Smuggler, Spun Sugar, Smuggler, and Spun Sugar. Here's the wire. Smuggler won it by a neck over Spun Sugar. Summerly finished 3rd and Seeking the Ante.
Smuggler and Edgar Prado getting a game neck victory over the previously unbeaten Spun Sugar. Summerly, the favorite in the field of 6 off of her victory in the Kentucky Oaks, showing good early speed. Jerry Bailey wrestling her back a little bit, tried to rally between horses, but could settle for no better than 3rd. The winner, Smuggler, off of a good 2nd place finish to Round Pond in the Acorn, improves her finish here in the Mother Goose, picking up her first graded stakes victory in a Grade 1. Smuggler, a 3-year-old bay daughter of Unbridled. From inside information by private account, was bred in Kentucky by Ogden Mills Phipps. He is owned by the Phipps stable and trained by Shug McGahee. Ridden to victory by Edgar Prado. Smuggler completes the 1 1/8 at Belmont in 1:48 2. We're going to head back to Belmont now for Sunday's stakes feature, the Mike Lee. This for New York State Breds, the first leg of the OTB Big Apple Triple, $100,000 for the 3-year-old New York Breds. Let's head back to Belmont and the running of the Mike Lee.
And they're off. Bold Decision, and there goes Blue Sunday, and Golden Roses on the inside. Blue Sunday and Golden Roses going head-to-head, followed by Bold Decision 3rd. Big Apple Daddy right up there and on the pace, running 4th. 2 lengths back to Sorted Out, who's come out 5th, and a break of another 6 back to Naughty New Yorker, void of early speed here. So they race down the back stretch. Blue Sunday surrounded by challengers. Golden Roses on the inside, Big Apple Daddy on the outside. Bold Decision back to 4th after a quarter in 22 seconds flat. Another 4 lengths back to Sorted Out, and another 6 back to Naughty New Yorker, now beginning to hit his best stride, but he's at least 15 lengths from the leaders. And the leaders are Blue Sunday, Big Apple Daddy, and Golden Roses. Not far behind Bold Decision is 4th. Another 6 lengths back to Sorted Out, and Naughty New Yorker. The half went in an eye-popping 44 2/5 seconds. It's Big Apple Daddy, Golden Roses, and Blue Sunday in between those two. In the meantime, Naughty New Yorker's only about 4 lengths away from them, and they're off the turn and they're into the stretch. And it's Big Apple Daddy and Blue Sunday going head-to-head. Naughty New Yorker continues to close on the far outside. In the final furlong, Blue Sunday and Big Apple Daddy are wilting. And here's Naughty New Yorker, who comes from 20 lengths out of it, and he's going to do it. Naughty New Yorker, a last to first win in hand at the end, and a little tap of appreciation from Jean-Luc Samine to do it. Sorted Out in a photo for the runner-up spot here with Blue Sunday and Big Apple Daddy.
Naughty New Yorker getting the victory from off the pace, taking advantage of a sharp pace that's set up between the likes of Blue Sunday and Golden Roses. And Naughty New Yorker finally back in the winner's circle after struggling against a little bit better in the graded stakes ranks, gets a little bit of class relief, gets the pace he needs, and closes to win by 2 1/4 at almost 9-1 over Sorted Out. Coming back off of a disappointing showing in the Kentucky Derby, but certainly you don't get a lot of horses coming from the Derby into the Mike Lee. He didn't run badly at all, rallying from off the pace. Favored Blue Sunday, involved every step of the way, and had to settle for no better than 3rd after being engaged by the likes of Golden Roses and Big Apple Daddy in the early running. The winner, Naughty New Yorker, is a 3-year-old bay, son of Quiet American from Naughty Natisha by Known Fact. Bred in New York by Dr. William B. Wilmot and Dr. Joan Taylor. Owned by the Fox Ridge Farm and trained by Pat Kelly. Ridden to victory by Jean-Luc Samine. Naughty New Yorker runs the 7 furlongs at Belmont in 1 minute 23 flat. That's going to wrap up this edition of Horses and Courses. Thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate it. We're going to be back here next week at the same time with a very busy schedule of racing from over the 4th of July holiday weekend. Until then, have a great week at the races.